Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 135 of Gains, and this one is titled Fight. Okay, boys, let's go. I want to get Mum's favourite cushions from the lounge and some stuff from the kitchen too, you said, feeling much more confident now that both boys were in low-key fight mode. Bakugo stepped forwards first, and your dad took a step back, still wanting to fight, as you could tell, but he was very intimidated by your blonde man. Bakugo was about the same height as your dad and absolutely ripped. It was easy to see that if these two went toe-to-toe, it would be Bakugo who would be the victor, easily. Kiri, too, was a unit and could have easily taken your dad down with one punch, and you knew your dad knew this. Thankfully, you all walked out of the bedroom and into the hallway without a hitch, but you kept an eye on Bakugo, worried that he was going to take a swing at your dad at the last second, but he didn't. He was being very controlled, and you appreciated that. What do you want to get first, Yin? Kiri asked you in a determined voice. He was quite annoyed now and wanted to get your mum everything she needed, then get out of this place before he lost control. Your dad was now well and truly in his firing line. Okay, I want to get Mum her favourite dishes, her favourite mug, a few other things that she loves, then get the cushions from the lounge, and then that should be it for now. Hopefully that'll be everything for a while because I don't really want to come back here too often for obvious reasons, you said in a low voice so that your dad couldn't hear you. What did you mean by that you said before? Your dad suddenly asked, entering the kitchen behind Bakugo. What did I say before? You asked him as you looked back at him. About your mother not coming back here, he asked. Yeah, that's exactly it. I don't want her coming back here. She's not coming back here, you said, no longer trying to veil your anger. You don't get to say that, he said. Yes, I do, you shot back. Quite frankly, you're a terrible person and I don't want her near you anymore. You do not talk to me like that, your dad started to say. Excuse me, but you do not care one bit about Mum or me. You've been ignoring Mum and you haven't even tried to contact me. So because of that, you don't get to tell me what to do. You are a terrible person. Your dad's face darkened and he took a step towards you, but Bakugo was right there and his arm shot out to block your father. Your dad, still absolutely livid that he would have the gall to speak to him that way, grabbed Bakugo's arm in an attempt to remove it, but ended up being thrown against the wall instead. Katsuki, don't injure him, but please keep him away while we get the stuff, you called to your blonde. I'm going to throw him through the wall, Bakugo yelled. Don't, but just keep him away, you said as you grabbed for the cupboard doors and threw them open, grabbing out all of the things that your mum would want, while Kiri grabbed for a picnic basket off the top shelf and plonked it down beside you for you to pack your things. Your dad had pulled himself off the wall now and took a weak swing at Bakugo, which Bakugo easily dodged and threw an explosion at your dad's side, making him topple to his left. Don't kill him, you shouted at Bakugo. I'm not, but he's going to pray for death, Bakugo yelled back. Hurry, E, can you get some dish towels? I want to pack them in around the plates. They're in the bottom drawer there, you directed your other man, trying to finish up quickly so you could get out of there. Bakugo and your dad were still fighting, and you had to ignore them to get everything done, and once you'd gotten it all that you needed from the kitchen, you turned to Kiri. E, can you please help Katsuki? I need to get past to go to the lounge, you said to your redhead. Roger, Kiri said. And then he turned and ran over to where the other two males were grappling. He raced in and grabbed your dad around his waist and then activated his quirk to harden himself against any attack from your dad. Let go of me! This is assault! Your dad screamed, his yell being followed by a particularly loud explosion from Bakugo. Just as you ducked past the three with gym bag over one shoulder and picnic basket slung over one arm, Aizawa came bursting in through the front door and saw you running, with scuffle happening behind you. Get down, he shouted at you, while activating his quirk and throwing his scarf out. You ducked to the side and kept heading for the lounge as he raced past you, and you heard more crashing as you ran into the lounge and grabbed for the lounge cushions and then turned around. You could hear Bakugo shouting about how he wanted to murder your dad, and Kiri trying to explain that your father had the intention of harming you, while the dad was shouting about not wanting to be tied up in his own home, so you assumed that Aizawa had apprehended him at that point. Yin! Bakugo shouted. I'm here, I'm okay, you called, rounding the corner of the lounge to head back into the hallway, but was met by Bakugo and Kiri coming to get you. Has Aizawa got Dad? You asked Bakugo, who got to you first, grabbing you into a hug. Yeah, it's okay now, Kiri said from behind Bakugo, and you looked past them to see Aizawa with his scarf wrapped around your dad, his arms sandwiched to his sides as he continued to yell. Your mum is useless! You're both useless! Spineless! Worthless! I never want to see either of you again! He shouted at you. Don't bother about telling her that she's not coming back here, because I'm filing for a divorce. You're both dead to me, he raged. This hurt. You had been staying strong, but this hurt, and tears sprung into your eyes. You don't get to say any of that, you screamed at him. We're so much better without you. Bakugo grabbed you tighter then, and Kiri came up beside you to take the picnic basket to lighten your load. Yun, Bakugo, Kirishima, please go to the car. I'll be out soon, Aizawa said, his face showing signs of anger that you'd never seen before. Still upset and crying, you let Bakugo take you out of the house while Kiri did his best to comfort you with words, telling you that you had done a good job and that you were right, your dad didn't deserve you or your mum, and you thanked him for his kind words, but you were still really worked up and couldn't stop crying. The boys took your bags from you and put them in the boot of the car while you got into the front passenger seat and cried even harder. How are you going to be able to tell your mum about what happened? Well, I think you'll all agree Bakugo was clearly the victor in this one, but hey, who thought that Aizawa was about to jump in? Go dadzawa, stepping in for his kids. Stay tuned for chapter 136 coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.